Ah, Bedrock, that sleepy little one dinosaur town of my youth, and the home of the Flintstones. They're next on Cartoon Network. I bet you want to know what's coming up next on Cartoon Network, huh? It's the Flintstones! I never could keep a secret. Looky, looky, looky! Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family on the Cartoon Network. Yeah, but... Hey, what's cooking, Cartoon Network? Why, it's the Jetsons, and they're coming up next. Makes me hungry for a Martian meatball. Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's the Jetsons with Wonder Dog Astro. In the future, all dogs will be able to talk. Astro told me. On the Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's the age-old question. Who's funnier, Bugs or Daffy? You make the call on the Cartoon Network. Once upon a time, there was a rabbit. Everything was fine until along came the duck. To make a long story short, Bugs and Daffy Tonight is next on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Tom and Jerry, the cat and mouse who act like a cat and a mouse. Just imagine how bad it would be if they could speak. Tom's a nice cat. He's just fallen in with the wrong kind of crowd. Jerry brings out the very worst in him. The bad seeds are next on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Tom and Jerry. Lock up your pet hamster, your bird, and your fluffy bunny, because this cat is crazy. Just look at his eyes. He's crazy, man. You want to know what happens in your house when you're not at home? Let's just say Kitty isn't spending all his time sleeping. Tom and Jerry are next on Cartoon Network. Come on and stow away with the original High Seas cartoon. The Mariner's not so ancient, but he knows his vegetables better than anyone in the crew. Popeye, the Sailor Man, is next on Cartoon Network. Popeye's used to dealing with pirates on the high seas, but on dry land, Brutus sometimes throws him for a loop. Popeye, the Sailor Man, is next on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, Popeye and Bluto make nice and decide to open up a chain of hamburger stands together on the Cartoon Network. Coming up next, Droopy D is the man with the plan, so step off, you MC wannabes. Get down with Droopy D on the Cartoon Network. Run for the hills! Scooby-Doo, save us! Save us from the monsters of the Toon World! Oh, save us, Cartoon Network! Hey, coming up next, it's Scooby-Doo and a mystery that Angela Lansbury was too wimpy to tackle. Prepare yourself now for the Cartoon Network. You know the old saying, a dog is a man's best friend? Doesn't it seem like Shaggy and Scooby might be taking this a little bit too far? Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is next on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, we got the emissions fixed on the Mystery Machine for a whole hour of Scooby-Doo and the gang. Floor it! Hey, look what's next! Miniaturized Scooby and the gang are a perfect example of why size just doesn't matter. It's a pup named Scooby-Doo on the larger-than-life Cartoon Network. Coming up next, what happens when two kids from Milwaukee move to Beverly Hills? Who cares? The Flintstone kids are on the Cartoon Network. Will Jerry teach Tom to chase Limburger instead of him? Probably not. But stay tuned to Cartoon Network for Tom and Jerry Kids. Coming up when? Next, of course. Coming up next, the Smurfs go nuts and bust up the joint after Smurfette gets engaged to a leprechaun on the Cartoon Network. I like it, too. Coming up next, the Snork's favorite food is kelp. Kelp? They really eat kelp. Ugh. It's those gross little Snorks on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, hop into your supersonic transport with those lovable superheroes, the Shirt Tails. Beam me up, Scotty, on Cartoon Network. Set your wristwatch communicators. It's time for the Shirt Tails. If you don't have a communicator, just talk into your hand on the Cartoon Network. Over. Roger.
Coming up next, can nothing stop the villains who threaten the universe? Only the heroes of Super Adventures on the Cartoon Network. Next, from the frozen reaches of outer space come the most dynamic heroes in the universe. Super Adventures on the Cartoon Network. Coming up next, Dr. Doom. What you gonna do when the Fantastic Four are coming for you, you tinhead? On the Cartoon Network. Coming up next, Thundar and Ookla the Mok have come to bring justice to Earth. It's Thundar the Barbarian on the Cartoon Network. Coming up next, get ready for battle as man fuses with machine to form the Centurions on the Power Extreme Cartoon Network.
Wow, what a deal. If you like big, green, scaly monsters from the sea, you're in luck. Godzilla's next on Cartoon Network.
What's that sound? Oh no, it's the giant scale beast Godzilla. He'll crush us all, including the Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Godzilla! He ate my burrito, and he'll eat you too. Run for it! The beast is loose on the Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, transport back in time to the Valley of the Dinosaurs and see if you can survive the beasts of the Cartoon Network. Coming up next, prepare yourself for the Valley of the Dinosaurs, where humans are the hunted. It's the Cartoon Network. Coming up next, he's a chip off the old Bond, and he's making it tough for the Scumlord. It's James Bond Jr. on the Cartoon Network. Up next on Cartoon Network, it's the Incredible Hulk's dapper little brother, Captain Planet. You should see their baby sister, Scarlet. She's a vision. Humanity helping Captain Planet. Up next on Cartoon Network. Hey, Captain, could you use an extra pair of hands? I'm free later. Get ready, cats. The Radical Squadron is here to save Mega Cat City. It's the SWAT Cats next on Cartoon Network. Next on Cartoon Network. Move over, Commander Farrell. The SWAT Cats are coming through, and there's nothing you can do about it. Ah! Coming up next, there's trouble in Mega Cat City, and the SWAT Cats are suiting up for battle. It's the Cartoon Network, baby! Coming up next, spanning the globe as he searches for adventure and dodges the truant officer, it's Johnny Quest on the Cartoon Network. World travelers, adventurers, actioneers, you know where to come for the inspiration that keeps you healthy. So keep it here, because Johnny Quest is next on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, Ace Goodhart and G-Force are full flame on. So strap in and get ready for the power on the Cartoon Network.
I'm Space Ghost. The torture of having to wait for my show Cartoon Planet must be unbearable. Lucky for you, it's next on Cartoon Network.
Space Ghost here. Many people ask me what the key is to a successful TV show. Like I'm going to give up my broadcasting secrets. Cartoon Planet's next
On Cartoon Network.
Hi, I'm Space Ghost, and I'm telling you this show I have is hot. It's me and this bunch of galactic misfits. Boy, do we cut up. It's Cartoon Planet, next on Cartoon Network. I'm Space Ghost. We'll check in with our fans, do a ratings report, and some countdowns, and most importantly, I'll talk a lot. Cartoon Planet's coming up next on Cartoon Network. Space Ghost here. Call in the fun, please, because we're having too much of it. Cartoon Planet's the name of the show, and it can't be missed. Next on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, shake your heads, villains. The Power Zone crew is in full effect. Love those tights on the Bicepi Network. Coming up, more of those boss heroes and squeedly villains. Pew! You're in the Power Zone on the Laser-Sighted Network.
The Dark Water is coming, and it's going to swallow the alien world of Mur, along with the Cartoon Network.
Look, up in the sky! It's a bird, a plane! No, it's Adamant, and he's atomic-powered, baby! Which means he's really hard to squish on the Cartoon Network.
There are rodents and insects in the very organs of this nation's politics.
And that's not just another nasty rumor. We know some that have been scurrying around Washington, D.C. for years. Capital Critters is up next on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next! Yeah, they're really scaly, and some have dangerous beaks, but they're nice! It's Dink and Friends on the Cartoon Network. Woohoo! Me gusta comer los hamburguesas en el baño. Hey, look, I can speak the language of the old country. It's Don Coyote on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, do not adjust